Hi everyone, all fellow dog parents tuning in today. If you own a dog, I bet you've dealt with this frustrating, scary issue before. Your pup seems totally calm most days. Then out of nowhere, they snap, growl, or even sink their teeth into someone. Some dogs are perpetually skittish, too, they bolt at tiny noises. And tense up the second a stranger reaches out to pet them. A ton of us jump to quick conclusions to explain this behavior. We blame the breed: huskies are hot-tempered, corgis are snappy, small dogs are just naturally fearful. Or we think it's an adult dog's bad attitude. We figure spaying/neutering, longer walks, or stricter training will fix all their aggression. But a massive, groundbreaking research paper from Scientific Reports, a Nature journal, totally flips everything we thought we knew. This study pulled data from 4,497 household dogs, covering over 211 different breeds. The hard numbers prove a life-altering truth. Any stress, abuse, or hardship a puppy faces in their first 6 months of life leaves permanent mental scars. This window is the non-reversible critical stage for canine emotional development. Trauma during this time skyrockets their risk of fear-based biting and lifelong anxiety as adult dogs. Let's break down how credible this research really is first. This joint study brought together researchers from Harvard, the Ohio State University, and the University of Pennsylvania. They surveyed dog owners all across English-speaking countries, collecting full lifelong histories for thousands of pets. Every owner filled out the C-BARQ questionnaire, a globally recognized standardized canine behavior scale. Dogs were scored on a 0 to 4 scale, 0 meaning zero fear or aggression, 4 meaning severe biting and unmanageable anxiety. Researchers sorted and analyzed 7 distinct categories of early life hardship, stuff most dog owners don't even realize counts as puppy trauma. Let's run through them real quick, because a lot of these happen accidentally in regular homes. Harsh punishment training, alpha rolls, grabbing a puppy's muzzle, loud screaming, rough physical corrections. Constant rehoming or long shelter stays, being torn away from mom and littermates too soon. Straight-up physical abuse, hitting or kicking the young puppy. Attacks from other dogs, cats, or wild animals while they're tiny. Severe, repeated fright from strangers, loud commotion, or chaotic environments. Major physical injuries like car accidents, falls, near-drowning incidents. Being chained or crated outdoors alone for hours on end, with no freedom to move. Most dog owners brush these incidents off. They think puppies have short memories, they'll forget small scares once they grow up. But this massive sample of nearly 4,500 dogs crushes that myth completely. The research split all dogs into 4 clear groups based on when they experience trauma. Group 1, hardship before 6 months old. Group 2, stress between 6 and 12 months. Group 3, trauma only after their first birthday. Group 4, 0 negative experiences their whole lives. Now let's dive straight into the key statistical results, super easy to follow. First, aggression score comparison. Puppies that faced adversity under 6 months hit an average aggression score of 1.93. Dogs with a completely calm early life only averaged 1.82. The difference sounds tiny on paper, but with thousands of test subjects, the math hits p less than 0.001, this gap is statistically massive, no random luck here. For fear levels, the divide is even more obvious. Traumatized young puppies averaged a fear score of 2.21. Dogs raised without early stress sat at just 2.06. Simply put, pups that went through any tough stuff as babies grow up far more jumpy, skittish, and ready to bite to defend themselves. There's also a clear dose effect the team spotted. The more traumatic events a puppy endures in those first 6 months, the more aggressive and anxious they become as adults. One single scare might create mild wariness. But repeated yelling, crating, or rough handling builds constant hypervigilance in their brains. And here's another huge takeaway: timing is everything. Dogs that only dealt with stress after 6 months showed way milder behavioral issues. Why? Between 0 and 6 months, a puppy's brain regions that control fear and stress hormones are still rapidly developing. Any trauma rewires their stress response permanently. Older puppies and fully grown dogs have finished core emotional brain development, so bad experiences don't leave lifelong, irreversible damage. Next up, breed genetic differences, which explains why two dogs with similar rough puppyhoods act totally different as adults. The team analyzed 34 well-represented breeds and split them into two clear groups. First group, high vulnerability breeds. These pups have a naturally weaker stress tolerance in their genetics. Early trauma drastically boosts their adult biting and fear risk. Airedale Terriers, American Eskimo Dogs, Siberian Huskies, American Coonhounds, Pembroke Welsh Corgis. If you own any of these breeds, their puppy socialization and gentle treatment matter more than ever. Second group, resilient, low-sensitivity breeds. Golden Retrievers and Labrador Retrievers stood out here. Even minor stress as puppies barely shifts their adult fear and aggression scores. Their genetic makeup lets them bounce back far easier from small childhood setbacks. Important note, no breed in the study showed data proving trauma makes them calmer long-term. Any tiny downward shift in aggression scores only came from tiny sample sizes, pure random chance, no real scientific weight. Then the study flagged household factors that make a traumatized dog's behavior even worse. Number 1, living with young kids. Little kids can't read canine body language, they yank tails, grab faces, steal toys without warning. Constant uninvited rough interaction keeps a stressed puppy stuck in fight or flight mode their whole life, pushing up biting odds drastically. Larger dog breeds also tended to register higher aggression scores, which makes sense, their bites carry far more dangerous force. A lot of owners rely on spay/neuter or longer daily walks to fix biting habits. The research confirms those tactics only create minor surface-level improvements. They cannot erase the permanent brain changes caused by puppyhood trauma. If your dog's core anxiety stems from early hardship, extra walks or surgery won't fix the root fear-driving snaps and bites. Let's bust 4 super common, dangerous misconceptions every dog parent falls for. Myth 1, puppies forget scolding and rough handling once they grow older. False. The 0 to 6 month developmental window rewires their stress system permanently. Harsh training creates hidden resentment and constant fear that surfaces as biting years down the line. Myth 2, spaying, neutering, or more daily exercise will eliminate biting entirely. These ease temporary restlessness, but they don't undo lifelong trauma-based anxiety built as a tiny pup. Myth 3, shelter dogs are naturally vicious. Nearly all aggressive shelter canines developed reactivity from repeated rehoming, abandonment, or abuse as young puppies, not their breed's innate personality. Myth 4, all dogs of one breed act identical, so puppy raising style doesn't matter. Genetics set a baseline, but a puppy's first 6 months shape 90% of their adult temperament. Two littermates raised completely differently will grow into unrecognizable personalities. Now let's get into actionable, easy tips for every dog owner, split into 2 scenarios. Scenario 1, you own a puppy younger than 6 months old, still inside that critical safe window. Ditch all harsh punishment entirely. Stick 100% to positive reinforcement with treats and praise. No alpha roles, yelling, or swatting. Keep their home environment stable. Avoid frequent rehoming or separating them from mom/littermates too early. Slow, gentle socialization. Don't force your pup toward strangers, loud crowds, or unfamiliar dogs if they're scared. Never lock or chain them outdoors alone for hours. Give constant free space to move and play indoors. Always supervise kids around the puppy. Enforce clear boundaries, no grabbing ears, tails, or forced hugs. Scenario 2, you adopted an adult dog or rescue with known puppy trauma before 6 months. We can't erase their past, but consistent routine drastically lowers biting and anxiety risks. Create low-stress living space first. Limit random guests and loud sudden noises around them. Slow desensitization training. Pair every calm human interaction with high-value treats to rebuild trust gradually. Set up a private safe crate or bed they can retreat to any time they feel overwhelmed. Never drag them out against their will. Never scold your dog for growling. A growl is their warning signal. Punishing growls teaches them to skip warnings and bite without hesitation next time. Be patient, healing trauma can take months, even over a year. Progress won't happen overnight. This study carries huge real-world weight for shelters, breeders, and every pet parent out there. Countless dog bites, surrenders, and even euthanasia cases trace back to unaddressed puppy trauma before 6 months. Breeders need to prioritize gentle early socialization for every litter. Animal rescues need custom long-term rehabilitation plans for traumatized young dogs. For regular folks raising puppies, those first 6 months aren't just cute puppy phase, they shape your dog's entire 10+ year life. Let's recap all the core takeaways quick, to lock this info in. A landmark Nature study of 4,497 dogs confirms trauma before 6 months creates permanent fear and biting risk as adults. The more hardship a puppy endures in this window, the more reactive and aggressive they grow up to be. Stress after 1 year barely impacts their temperament. Breed genetics create big gaps in stress resilience. Huskies, corgis and terriers are far more vulnerable, while labs and goldens handle minor setbacks better. Harsh training, long crating, frequent rehoming, and unsupervised kid interaction are top hidden puppy stressors. Spay/neuter and extra walks only mask symptoms, they can't fix trauma-rooted aggression and anxiety. Raising a dog isn't just feeding kibble and taking daily walks. Those quiet, small moments of fear your puppy faces as a baby stick with them forever. If your dog regularly growls, flinches, or snaps unexpectedly, pause and reflect on their early life. It might not be bad behavior, it's unhealed puppy trauma showing through. Drop a comment down below. Do you have a rescue dog with a tough puppy past? Or a young pup you're carefully socializing right now? Let's swap gentle, positive training tricks in the comments section. That's all for today's deep dive into canine developmental science. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next video.